Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever you guys are around the world. Thank you so much for joining us on in here tonight as we are about to introduce back the Pedal to the Metal Racing League podcast. I am joined in here tonight with my good friends and colleagues, Miss Kayla McCarthy, uh, Miss Chantel the Throttle Pottle, and Mr. Robert Kahn. Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to have you back here as well. The host here, I am Christian the Crusader Shriver. I know we haven't done this in a while, guys, but it's definitely good to have you back on the chat.
Yeah, for sure. Been a while.
Definitely has indeed, guys. And we've been around here for quite a while and all that. I know it's been quite a time difference to everything that's gone on from our last podcast from when we were on the Heat. Now we're on the iRacing stuff. We'll get more into that later, but I guess the main thing is just kind of want to start in with this whole podcast is let's just kind of get to the meat and bones of it is our last seasons of NASCAR Heat 4 and 5. Kind of just going off from the top here, how would you guys say with Heat 4 going into Heat 5, like where we all started, what everything went down as?
I mean, for me, Heat was a great learning experience to for where we're at now. I don't know about everybody else, but
Yeah, he had a lot of ups and downs.
It did, but it was awesome though because it's where we all met and we all learned to race there. Must have, and it worked a little bit because we all became pretty decent at iRacing.
Definitely for sure there. I think kind of going off where we were going with that and all that, it was definitely a big learning experience for a lot of drivers and a lot of folks out there from where we were going. But I guess mainly the main thing now is just like what happened exactly. I guess is one everyone wants to know about because we went from Heat 4 and we had a great time there. And as you see on our little scoreboard here, we kind of ended right at Heat 5 and moved on from other projects. So I guess really I guess the fans that have listened in on the podcast and know about our league and everything from the Heat 3 on to 5, like what happened exactly? What really changed the dilemma for us as drivers to move on to bigger and better things?
I mean, there was a lot. I mean, I guess Crusader, what you're saying is what what caused us to go iRacing is that
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say what caused us to go iRacing, but like where did everything change? Like when did we go from literally running Heat 3, even doing our little Wreckfest thing every now and then, and yeah, other stuff we've done, to where now we're done with Heat. We're done completely. We've gone over to iRacing. Like where did everything change, and what exactly started that change?
I think when I mean, obviously Archon made the jump before Pottles and myself. Um, the way he was talking about it kind of was just pushing that change envelope for myself, and then um the realisticness of seeing what Heat was versus what it could be or whatnot. I think that was part of it. I mean, in my opinion.
Well, either way. Okay. Well, either way, we were going to iRacing anyways, because back in March, while everyone was still on Heat 4, iRacing PTM was starting to go over there. We had a few drivers over there with some that had iRacing. We were just waiting for everyone to start switching over. My plans was not to go over as soon as I did, but it was gonna start up. It took a few months to get it in planning, but to be honest, Heat 4 from Heat 3 changed a lot. Not sure what they done, but there was a lot of. They went ahead, but they went back too. Heat 5 was bad. That's horrible. Don't know what they done wrong there, but they should not have released that game. Um, but right when I quit Heat 4, I was gonna be done. I end up trying Heat 5 again, just to see if I like it, but I could not stand it at all. So once I figured out Heat 5 was
Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks.
Archon, do you want to mute your mic? There you go. Oh jeez, I'm lost now. When he comes on, all I can hear is an echo. But when we left, well, once I got on Heat 5, we figured out this is definitely not going to work for PTM. The game was garbage. I just decided to end PTM on Heat then. The chances of us going back is like slim to none. There's a good chance PTM will never be on Heat again. We're going to stick with iRacing and Wreckfest, and everything else is history.
Yeah, that's what left a sour taste in my mouth was that we gave that game several seasons, even 4. It kind of went downhill from there, and I just happened to try iRacing, and it just changed it. I mean, I think if they put the effort into Heat, I bet you we'd still be racing on it. They just couldn't. They didn't make a good product. It ruined it, you know.
They really did indeed, and I just kind of put in my 2 cents in here as well. It's just I met you all when we told the story before, but I met you all from after I got out with Wreckfest. I joined into the Heat 4 series at the time because you guys just came off 3, and I was just honestly kind of wanting to do the clean racing thing and have some fun, see all that there. But the biggest thing that I felt going in from what everything changed is from Heat 4 to Heat 5 was just the lack of effort I felt that Heat 4 went through into Heat 5. Like, Heat 4, it seemed like everything was fine. It felt good. You got stuff figured out. You got used to the tracks. And for the most part, it was a learning curve, but you got it done. But when you went to Heat 5, it was like something just felt completely off and wrong. It felt like the exact same game. It felt like the exact same way. And, I'm not trying to hound on 704. I don't know what exactly, goes in to the marketing and all the broad product stuff that they have to work with. Obviously there's a lot of things that a lot of folks don't know about in the gaming industry that kind of hurts developers and producers behind the scenes. But my biggest thing was just what they presented to me was just unexcusable and unacceptable. And I even as a broadcaster, I was getting tired of doing the broadcast stuff on that. So I was just like, you know what? I'm done racing, and I really want to be done broadcasting, so let's try iRacing. And ever since then, I've enjoyed this time with Pedal to Metal Racing League on iRacing and all that, but it's definitely been, one of those things you just got to get used to.
Hey, I got a random question for you guys. Who is the hardest person to pass in NASCAR Heat in the leagues?
In the league?
Yeah, well, like in just league racing over the years. Like, who do you guys think was the hardest person to pass?
My opinion, the one I always had troubles with was either you or Chantel when we were racing.
Man, I gotta say, good old JKR, man. I do miss racing him from time to time. Yo.
He was one of the ones that I had a problem when I moved up to the Cup Series in Heat 5 that I had a hard time passing. In Heat 4, I remember I was always felt like I was chasing Pottles and Archon anytime Archon would run. Because Archon, you had kind of devoted yourself to mainly the Cup Series, but that was my like, okay, Archon's running. It's almost like the Xfinity guys for when Kyle Busch runs, like, okay, he's running, like we got to chase him and figure out what he's doing to get better to than him and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember at Richmond, Pottles, you might remember this race. We had a long green flag run. I had about 15 laps fresher tires than him. I chased him down from 4.5 seconds down. And I went to pass him, and first of all, passing him took 3 laps because he doesn't give you any room. And then I finally passed him, and he got right into my back bumper, put me straight up the track, passed me again. And I'm telling you, this is wash, dry, repeat for probably like 25 laps. I just remember that about him. He was a hard competitor, really was.
The hardest one for me to pass was Grandpa.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing I worried
Once
about with
he
Grandpa
got
was
there, it was like No, he wasn't moving. That was it. He was not moving out of the way for me. That's for sure.
I was worried about him getting sideways in front of me and causing an accident, and me hitting him and getting collected up into that with Grandpa.
It kind of
But yeah.
reminded me of like on the interstate when there's a drunk driver in front of you, but you want to pass him because you want to get the hell by him, but something in your gut saying, "No, don't do it. It's a bad idea because you're going to get beside him." I felt like it was similar, you know.
That's pretty much Grappa for you guys in a nutshell. If anyone's ever watched any of the streams and all that, you watch Grappa, like he'll pretty much block and defend you off worse than Logano did with Harvick and all that. So I mean, for those at home, that's just something to notice.
But I gotta say, the best seasons were Heat 3.
Yeah.
They were the best ones that we ever did.
100%. No, I don't think we'll even match that. I mean, hopefully we'll match that in iRacing, but I just don't think we'll ever have that level of competitiveness where it was back and forth like that. That was the best season, most fun I've ever had.
I honestly disagree with that because with iRacing itself is like I know and I didn't run Heat 3 with you guys, but in my opinion, iRacing itself it can be pretty much a playground if you can figure out how to get the setups down, the custom setups figured in, or just even figure out the track itself. So in my opinion, if you got once time goes on, things get figured out. I feel like we'll have competitive nature and battles in there that people will always just almost never forget. What's less, be streamed live on our show, of course. So if you guys haven't already, go up to Facebook and you're on YouTube and check that out. So
Yeah. Heat 3 though was the best. We had too many good battles. You just would have to be there to see it. It was crazy. But other than that, the only thing I really gotta say is PTM will never return to Heat again, unless they come out with a game that's pretty close to iRacing. I learned so many bad habits from Heat, and being honest, since 2016 is really hard to break myself from it. Like diving into the corners and just hard on the gas coming out of it, something you can't do in iRacing, and it's taken a long time for me to get used to that.
you see, though, with me, though, with at least what I've been doing with iRacing, is that like I said, you guys were around from the Heat 3 to Heat 5 stuff, so you guys had that bad habit placed in your mind. I honestly kind of grew up a little differently, where it was I kind of try to keep it more of an open mind and do things a little bit differently. And ever since then, I've honestly just kind of figured out more of like how to kind of put in real life scenarios and situations to where it actually works a lot better. And that was kind of what I was doing with Heat 4 to an extent. But I did learn a lot from you guys from what you were teaching me. But with at least with the iRacing stuff for me, it's the complete opposite. I've just honestly kind of taken it more like it's a legit, real life thing and trying to do what you're supposed to do in real life. So maybe that's just me though.
Well, if you were on Heat 3 with me and Archon, there wasn't very many tracks we lifted off the gas for. It was pretty much just Bristol and Martinsville and stuff. That was it. The rest was full throttle, just drifting the turn and going because it actually didn't hurt your tires. Like, we just made crazy fast setups.
Oh yeah, man, these things were crazy fast. It didn't even make sense.
I can't remember if I came on in Heat 3 or Heat 4, but
It was
I remember
definitely 3.
Okay. I remember thinking Heat 3, golly, how are these guys so fast? Like, what am I doing that's not what they're doing? And now I just figured it out.
I mean, the biggest thing that go ahead, Robert.
You know what really changed me to get off Heat, and this is one particular race, was one of my last seasons in Cup for the championship, where Dial beat me and won the championship. But I remember like him running the apron the entire way around the track at Auto Club. And it pissed me off so bad because it didn't make sense. It was like so unrealistic. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. Like that's when I lost complete interest of it. That what I saw, like when he pulled for me running the apron, like the entire track, I was like, that's it. I don't even want to race anymore. And I just happened to stumble on iRacing, and that kind of rejuvenated it. I'm actually glad that I started doing it because I was ready to give it up. After that, I just was so deflated about it.
So for those confused at home about what they're talking about here with Auto Club, is that Auto Club is you're not supposed to be anywhere near that apron at all, nor the bottom line like that, because I can tell you right now from iRacing wise, if it's as legit as it is to the track, those things are loose as it gets. Try to get to the bottom line without, really lifting and throttling off. It can send you for a ride.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. It didn't make sense. Like, but if they actually put the time and listened and actually tried to make the game realistic, I think they could have done it. They did have good graphics. They had a lot of potential, but I think it was lack of funds. Maybe it's not their fault. They just didn't have the funds to do it.
I feel like it was fun's timing, and then also just the fact is that they just honestly they had nothing else they could really do at this point. They felt like they had nothing left they could do. But in all honesty, if they took a little more time in like they do with iRacing, I feel like this wouldn't have been even a problem because if anybody remembers this, when Heat 5 first came out, it had Heat 4 stuff written all over it. So that, in my
Yeah,
opinion, tells you guys enough right there.
yeah. Because I mean, Heat had a chance because they had what 4 or 5 years. iRacing had a good base though because they used the coding from NASCAR Racing '03 to develop that game, which was a stellar game if you ever played it or anyone listening played it. But they had a good start where Heat pretty much got started from scratch. Remember Evolution? Oh my God.
Evolution was pretty bad, yeah. Heat 2 was pretty bad too.
I've got
Yeah.
both the photos up on the screen for those at home wondering what the heck they're talking about. So obviously the line of dialogue here is NASCAR Heat Evolution 2, 3, then 4 and 5, and obviously 3 was the one y'all loved the most. And that was the first Heat game I ever bought because I wanted to drive those late models, but I never thought about league racing until really later on.
Pottles, what didn't you like about Heat 4? I want to see if it's the same thing that I didn't like.
I think it was the tire wear. It was something off about it that didn't seem real.
Yeah, same, exact same.
Like, I know Heat 3 there was fucked up tire wear. Oh, sorry.
Chantel!
I know, Gregson.
I have
messed up
to.
tire wear. But it's fine. It's alright. But, yeah, it was something to do with the tire wear. It was wearing really weird, not real. It was just something there that was throwing me off.
Paul, I know you had mentioned in Heat 5 one time we were racing is that typically with tire wear, one starts wearing out, it goes tight like we've noticed. Excuse me, in iRacing. In Heat 4 and 5, it seemed like you would always get loose no matter what.
Yeah, you get severely loose. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, that's
like my tires are warming up. I should be getting tighter, not looser. And then that was it. I was done with Heat 5. Like, it was just pissing me off. Every time I wanted to turn on the game, pissed me off because I knew what was going to come. It's like, no. It's pretty much skill to drive shit. And that's what Heat is now.
Well, at this point, I'm gonna have to say in the chat real quick, guys. This is now gonna be 18 plus if you're gonna watch this. So thank God I don't set this. No kids are able to watch this. So just remember though, folks, this is a podcast. We're racers. We're gonna cuss a lot. So if you hear us say the F word or shit, damn, hell, bitch, I don't really give a shit. So deal with it.
Goddamn, Crusader, you took it to a new level.
Well, at this point, you guys already cussing, so I might as well have a little fun with this. All right, it's a podcast. Not like anybody really listens to these things anyway. But I enjoy talking.
I mean,
with them.
and at least it's not like at least we're not in the heat of a battle right after a race. Where real emotions are still live and whatnot from anything. I kind of wish we could have interviewed Archon at the Legends race at Five Flags after he blew that motor. God was man. I can only imagine. I can only imagine how you felt that race. Just being in that same spot multiple times before, obviously in the Heat series or whatever. But man, I really wish we could have interviewed you after that happened.
I don't
Should
because
have interviewed
honestly,
me after last week's race.
That's your own fault, dude. But anyway, I didn't want to say anything about that because honestly, like when you blew that motor first race in Legends series, like I just kept thinking to myself, holy smokes, like that has got to be like the worst feeling ever, and that has got to be like the worst thing I think I've ever seen. Because I know when I won my first, like I got crashed and I spun out because I blew the tire at Phoenix in Heat 4. But after that, like, nah, man, you doing what you did there, I don't even know how the heck I'd feel.
I thought it was a joke. Like I passed the start finish line, and I was like, "Yes, I won it! I won! I won a race! Awesome!" And I look at the standings, and I'm like, "Why does it say out in 11th?" I'm like, "This is a joke." And then, like, this is ha ha ha! This is funny.
I think
And
I was wondering this. I was like, okay, I got second, and then Paulus goes, McCarthy, you won. And I said, what? I was like, Archon was just in front of me. Like, where did he go? Like, I was
you know,
trying to make
you
a
know
run
what
underneath
happened?
you, but it then you just like disappeared. I'm like, what the hell?
You know what happened? I hit the green cone. I figured it out. That green cone going into turn one, it black flagged me, and I didn't even see it. And I kept going. I didn't see it, and I got to that, and it disqualified me and out of the race before the line.
Holy cow, man!
That's crazy.
That really is
Yeah,
crazy.
I did it
But
like 40 times before that. It was weird.
I think we should get on with everything else we need to talk about. For anyone that's gonna be wondering, that's probably watching it, we won't be coming back to Heat. PTM won't be anyways. Um, but the iRacing League,
Okay, so basically, yeah, for those at home that are wondering, yeah, so when we jumped shift, it started back in July and all that, and ever since then, we've been pretty much doing our own thing, kind of getting it there. Obviously, there is a huge learning experience that we are still learning and getting down. Even with me, with the Dirt Series that I can help out with, like I'm still figuring out how the heck those cars work and everything goes because it's just so realistic and things change and the track changes and everything really just it's a complete different feel from what the heat stuff is. So I'm gonna ask you guys now real quick, what's really the biggest thing that you need to work on, and also that the goal is with when we're going into high racing for pedal to the metal? What do we want to do with it? Where do we want to go? Because obviously we've got a pretty big hit going here, considering everything we've been doing.
um, we're really far right now. Like, we're gone into the point where I didn't think we were gonna reach it this soon. We have a lot of sponsors. We're gonna be giving out like trophies at the end of the season along with cash prizes. Like, there's medals for certain race wins. Like, that's really far compared to where I thought we were gonna be right now. Uh, any more goals is just to get bigger and maybe get a bigger sponsor on board with us with the ones we already have.
I mean, the biggest thing, yeah, like you said, there sponsors and all that. I mean, we got some huge sponsors. I mean, for God's sake, we got the Xfinity Series team that's really sponsored us. We got a trophies company that sponsored us. We got, some good folks down in Texas. We got some folks over, from mid cities there, obviously helping us out. There's a lot of folks out there that we can't thank enough. We'll go over them as well before we end this. But I mean, it really is just shocking to me when we went into season two how many we got from that and how far the league's honestly grown. Like from season one, we're a lot better in what we're doing right now than we were in season one, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no doubt, 100%. That was a learning season. That Pottles called that shot from the beginning. That probably not going to be the best, but this season it's already started out great. Man, look at Charlotte. Charlotte was an awesome race.
Oh, it really was. I loved every minute of calling that one.
Yeah, and to touch on what y'all said for season one, yeah, Puddles did say it was a learning season, but for a learning season, in my opinion, I think it came out really good. If you look at the end of the end of the season with the races and the points championship and the different topics that Crusader you had to talk about in the broadcast booth, um, along with the racing, I mean it honestly didn't really look like it was a rookie season for us in PTM for iRacing. Granted, there was little quirks and stuff that we all worked out, but I mean, for being a rookie season, the racing was really, really, really good, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think so. I agree.
I was kind of honestly waiting for the boss lady to join on and see what she says. I know she hates that, but honestly, it's funny to tell her.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, Arcon, I know you said that the same thing as far as it was a rookie season, but I really it like I said, it doesn't really seem like it was. Just with once we got going and got things in order, and once Puddles got our wheel fixed, that was awesome, man.
Pottles is going to tear it up this season. I I saw it. Call it dumb, call it stupid, but in that race at Thompson, when like she was up front, I saw a glimpse of like the competitiveness and the drive that I saw in Heat 3 when it was some of the best racing we had. I did see that. I think she's gonna be tough to beat. I bet she wins 2 or 3 races this season. I really do.
She's definitely had a bit of a struggle from last season when we were kind of going there because she only had one win and she couldn't really get into that podium finish anymore. And obviously, I got the blame for that because I was the one calling it in the chat and saying when she got the full throttles assault coming in. So I'll take full blame and thank for that. But I mean, McCarthy, Robert, I mean, you guys can't sell yourself short either. Y'all had a pretty good season last season, all things considered. And even some of the folks that are joined us in the chat, we've got the former series champions here and season champions with us right now, kind of talking in the chat right now on YouTube, and it's good to have them on board, of course. But I mean, the biggest thing is, I think for you guys going into the season, at least from my perspective as a broadcaster, I feel as though you guys have learned what iRacing is all about, and that's really understanding tempo, and also understanding the tire situation as well as how the track burns in and tears up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once I was kind of this. I've always been this. Once I got into iRacing and kind of tested and whatnot, I was like, all right, I just need to go, go, go. But like I said in one of the interviews at one point, once I put that, just kind of what was it? I put patiently aggressive on my wheel, and it seemed like a lot of stuff started clicking. I was able to run with Archon and like the NASCAR days and not have you know the stupid moments like Crusader used to have.
Oh, really? You're gonna go there? There's a reason why I keep kicking your butt in dirt.
I know that's not my forte though, but
I always the end of my days, and people, you can come and crucify me all you want, but dirt is where it started. Dirt is where the money should be, in my opinion. You have a lot harder time winning on dirt than asphalt, boys. Come at me.
I wish we still had the old chat from when you joined Crusader, like when you first joined PTM, because like when you first joined the first couple races, I ain't gonna lie, like you were rough, but by the end of the season, I would say I've never seen somebody progress so quick as you did that first season. You went from like dumpster fire to like multiple. Yeah, I think you
You
had what,
won.
2 wins?
Yeah.
You won. Yeah, I say you were you're. I wish he would have developed a little bit more, only for the reason because I think that you would have been very hard to beat. I
Yeah.
really, I honest to God think that. I mean, and I said that a couple times. I was like, look at Crusader. I mean, I remember the defeat when, like, what I heard in your voice when I think it was Talladega, and something stupid happened to you. You led that whole race, and I kind of thought then I was like, yo, he's gonna win some races. I think you did after that too. I thought you were the most underrated in the league, to be honest.
I'd say honestly what happened with Talladega, for those that don't know and maybe want to go back and watch the stream, it is up on our YouTube here. But what happened was is that we were coming down the last 3 or 4 laps, I believe, and I think it was I'm not mentioning names, but we had a couple of folks come up on us on the outside, and they were building momentum up, so I knew they were coming. But I decided to not, instead of trying to block, I decided to stay to my bottom line and just keep my line there and hope to God it would work. And one of them got ahead of me, and it ended up being where we were coming down on the trial with the turn 4 on the front stretch, and I ended up actually getting below the yellow line just a slight bit, and I just got my tires swung a little left and right, and then all of a sudden I took out a good chunk of the field, and that was probably just one of those moments I'm like, you know what, next race I'm going in and I'm going to fight my ass off if it means finally winning because I was sick and tired of losing. I wanted to finally get that one win. And it came at Phoenix a couple of weeks, I think it was actually the next week. And that got me into the playoffs too, into the final race, which shocked the
Yeah, I
heck out
don't
of
know
me.
how you did that. You
Um,
saved your tires like it was crazy. But
The
let's
Phoenix,
stop
yeah.
talking about Heath.
you really want to stop talking about it. Yeah, no.
He puts a bad taste in Pottle's mouth, and
I
she can't get it out for a while.
No, I think that's the only thing that she doesn't want in her mouth at this point. So let's just leave it at that. Oh, wait! I said
So
that out
many
loud.
bad habits from that game. It's just
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You-
really.
One I
P3
picked up.
was about the only thing good. But out of the Heat 4 and 5, they really screwed them up.
Well, let me say this real quick then, so we can get off Heat. Is that if anybody doesn't take anything that we learned from Heat, is that guys practice, practice, practice. You know, study the track, study the car, study everything. You will figure out a way to get better every time. It worked. Just literally, it worked for me. It's worked for Pottles. I know it's worked for Robert. And McCarthy is a really good example of this too, because she started from the bottom and she's worked her tail end off just to become what we know as the one you don't mess with Texas for a reason. But anyway, move on to the iRacing, guys. We need to talk about some iRacing stuff here before we go.
Trying to think.
I forget where we left off because we went right back to Heath.
We were
This
talking about
Richmond
our
race is going
goals,
to be
and then
good.
yeah, Richmond.
Richmond, yeah. Oh yeah, you Archon, you were saying how you've seen me get better in Thompson and stuff, but last
Yeah.
season, well, like McCarthy said, my wheel was broke. I was
Yeah.
fighting a broken wheel, like that was crazy. Finally got my new wheel. Then my knee acts up, and it's my right knee, the one that you're gonna use for your gas and brake. So it took me some while to get used to driving with my left foot, and that's what I'm still using with my left foot because I can't buckle my knee still.
Yeah, I
So
was
it's
so
taking a little
frustrated
bit,
for
but I'm
you.
getting used to it.
Yeah.
I remember looking at Thompson Pottles. I remember looking up in my mirror and seeing you back there and was like, oh crap, I need to be careful.
Yeah, I'm getting used to driving, well, using the gas brake with my left foot, so
I don't know how you
it's
do
getting
that.
better.
That's crazy. That's cool. You can do it.
I had to get used to it. I can't use my right. I can't do it, so.
Yeah, Pottles, mad props to you for being able to do that. I two-footed, and I couldn't imagine having to just use my left foot.
What's your hard? What do you think your? I ask you got the Pottles McCarthy. What's your hardest obstacle in iRacing so far that you found like that you're trying to get over?
Mine is saving tires and backing off and not going so hard into the turn coming out of the exit. That's the worst for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for me that having to figure out what tracks you can go hard the entire not hard, but you can go pretty hard the entire run versus tracks that are going to eat tires up. And now that we're in late models in ARCA, um, it's a lot more learning how to tire conserve and versus the Legends. There was a lot of tracks where you didn't really have to do that.
I'm still burning my tires up. I still got a trouble saving. Obviously, I came from a shit ass game. That it's gonna take me a while to learn the right stuff.
I've always
I don't.
I think I've already said this enough to you guys, but I'll say this on the podcast. Like every time like we have that old feeling of that issue of what he done to everybody and done everything, I just keep reminding everyone is like, guys, remember if I can get something figured out, I think y'all can get it figured out. But the biggest thing is just this is gonna take time. We're literally going from what was a complete and utter disregard for a sim and the real feel of what racing should be all about to now we are actually really practicing and getting a feel of that you're not going to get anywhere else. So it takes time. There's folks on there that have been doing it for years and it's like they're still figuring new things, new ways to get better. So it's like at this point you just got to stay focused, practice when you can, and everything else just puts the places together. You just got to break habits though when time comes.
I
Like
think my
Richmond right
biggest.
now, Richmond is my problem right now. Is I'm getting on the gas too hard coming at the turn. I'm used to doing that. That's how I used to drive Richmond, but I gotta get out of that, and it's really hard.
I have to get out of the funk. I think a lot of like my tire wear issues and a couple other things. and you probably know this just as well as I do, Pottles, from back in a long time ago, is I race, when I'm racing, I race off my emotion. Like, I get pissed off, then I start going. Like in heat, like I would get pissed off and watch out. I'm going through the field. I get pissed off in this game, forget it. I might get past 2 cars and I could jump 5 back because I burn my stuff up. I guess it's like you have to be in check with like how you're driving. But that's how I've always driven. I get pissed, then I drive the shit out of that car and I push it hard as I can. I can't do it in this game.
That's
And
one
like
nice. Go
it
ahead.
kills me. It gets me more mad. Like I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna drive the shit out of this car, and I do it, and then I start going backwards. I'm like, fuck, what
Yeah,
the
you
heck?
can't do
It
it
gets worse.
on this game. It's crazy. You gotta be so gentle on everything, like you would in a real car. And
That's
Yeah,
honestly the beauty of it, though. Although I will say that's the complete opposite for dirt, in my opinion, with those dirt stocks. Literally, I can still do a full throttle assault in those corners as long as I have the right setup on it. But let this be a warning to anybody that does dirt, by the way. Do not try to test a slick. It's gonna kill you if you test it. Set your car up for a long run.
speaking of frustration, A Crusader, I
What the
know you
hell do
were
you
mad in that
want?
dirt race. I know you were mad in that dirt race when
You
I was
have no
watching it.
idea what I'm dealing with sometimes in that car, man. I did not get
Yo,
that setup done right at all, and I was honest. Okay, for those at home that are wondering why I'm also frustrated, I had lost my internet for a while, and I'm back home finally, and I had pretty much switched internet providers, and I told the other ones to f off. So what happened is that now I have better service and everything, and I'm finally got everything situated where these broadcasts should be crystal clear, for the HD on Facebook. Obviously, YouTube's got something wrong with it right now, so I'll figure that out later, but. I mean, one thing also is just I have my wheel and all that moved over, which was about 30 minutes away, and I was just frustrated beyond belief with the track we were running on without figuring out any time to get anything done or anything because I was working off a family schedule just to even get into the actual races themselves. So it was frustrating because I couldn't practice, I couldn't get anything figured out, and USA, no offense to anybody that likes it, but not my track. Like I love Knoxville and I like Williams Grove, but I don't like it USA. It's just not my track.
I ain't gonna lie. I started laughing because I knew you were frustrated because I could hear it when you were talking, and then you hit the pit wall. I started busting out laughing because I was like, I know he wants to like blow this track up, like because I've been there.
Hey,
Like
blow his
I knew
track
you
up.
had to be frustrated.
Blow his track up. Screw that, man. The only thing I was really wanting to do was just blow the damn car up. I was so pissed off. But when you're on stream, I'm not gonna say anything. And by the way, the stream's not there anymore, so nobody can go and find it. So other reasons why it was deleted. But I mean, yeah, if you were watching when that stream came out, I was pissed. I was getting
I know
so
you were.
annoyed. Like I hate this damn thing. And I love dirt stocks, man. That's my forte. Like hobby stocks and stock cars are my car. Like I don't give a shit about anything else in the dirt series right now.
Yo, that stupid pit wall. That makes no sense why that pit wall is like that. That don't make no goddamn sense why it does that.
You're damn right about that. I'm trying to figure out why they put it really at the corner of turn 4. Like even with USA asphalt, it has an area where at least you could get in. Dirt, it's not that.
No, you're coming out of turn 4 and you have to shoot the gap. It's like playing chicken with a wall. It's dumb.
but I gotta say though, dirt is fun on here. There's a lot to learn in dirt, and it's realistic and it makes it so much fun, especially where I actually used to drive on dirt. A lot of my habits are coming back, and I'm getting faster each time.
Yeah, it makes me mad too.
That's
I know
because
you guys gotta
y'all
miss
are
it
freaking
because you
city
actually
slickers.
raced.
Yeah.
I honestly have never raced, but for those at home that are curious, I have family that still race dirt, so I have a lot of family that tidbit and talk to me. And Sean Schreiber, I hope you're listening because you're going to be teaching me how to build custom setups on these dirt stocks soon enough, boy.
Speaking of that, those custom setups are hard to design.
Oh
They're
God,
tough.
yeah.
Actually, we have a little Monday thing going on where we just learn setups, and I had a lot of fun last Monday night doing it. Like, I done a pretty good job, I feel. I took off, and I burned my tires up a little bit, though, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, that setup you put together for Thompson that was stellar. That was a great setup. Like the
Yeah.
changes you made to it, that you did a hell of a job on that.
And in Homestead, I did put that setup in. I go to the baseline and I just work off what I actually know and growing up with race cars and stuff.
Hmm.
I put it together and it worked well.
When we level up and we get to trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, like for the league races, when when this league develops into that, you know how good this racing's going to be. I
Oh
can't wait, and
man.
like I don't want to rush it or nothing, but like
It's
I
gonna
can't
be
wait.
good. The only thing about I really think the next cars are gonna be super late models and trucks. Um,
Yeah,
trucks will be open setups. The only thing I don't like about that is some of us is gonna be putting all of our time and effort into it, and then you got others that got like lots of money to waste, and they're gonna go out and buy the top of the line setup, put it in, and win everything.
Hey,
It's the
Maconi, set
only
up
thing I
shop.
don't like
see,
about it.
yeah, that's the one thing. Like I like iRacing, I love the game, but that's one
Mhm.
thing that the buying the setups, that shit, like it's I don't know. You didn't. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I know how I feel now. I think it's dumb. You buy setups and stuff, but
But
I
I've
a
seen.
next thing for PTM is if we go to trucks and we go to open setups, I think is when we gotta start doing teams where you have teams, people can get together, you
Yeah,
help each other with
mm,
setups. I hope teams don't go the way it did on Heat, but let's just hope it actually does what it's supposed to do on iRacing.
I definitely
yeah,
can
that
agree with
left a
that.
bad taste in my mouth. From
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid to bring it back, but maybe iRacing will do what it's supposed to do.
Well, I mean, I'll say this real quick to anybody that's, curious is that the leagues that I've broadcasted for and I've talked about here on PTM Racing TV, I have worked with some of their teams and stuff, and for the most part, they generally stay out of troublesome territory. They do have a few times where a single driver pisses off somebody, but that's really just the driver. That's not the team really getting involved in that one because
Yeah.
generally speaking, like they're just more individualized, but they do work as a team to help each other out that I've noticed. So I think if the right things are put in place and also, they understand, what obviously what we're doing right now with pedal to metal, which is honestly working really well, in my opinion, I think honestly teams is literally a no-brainer. It'll be the easiest thing out of all of it.
Yeah,
yeah, I think
especially
it'll be
with
good.
what we got on the line and stuff. Hopefully it becomes bigger, obviously.
Yeah, I guess I think it's going to be different in this game. I think it's going to be real good. But let's just say I'm not going to say names, but let's say I remember at a Pocono race when dipshit A was blocking puddles, and she finally
Yeah.
got by him, and then dipshit B did it and ended up ruining the race for her. And like for that, well, I used to watch it at work. Like back then, we used to stream on Pottle's car. She used to do the chase camera, and that's
Yeah.
how we didn't have announcers. But I remember being at work and like watching it, and I'm like, and it was slow in the dealership, and I'm like, fuck. I can't believe these motherfuckers, I get so
Yeah,
pissed
they were
off about
worked
it.
and good or bad.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
dirty. It wasn't even like I could see like making it hard to pass, but that was ridiculous. You know.
Mm.
That was honestly like one of those things that I've gone back and watched some of those clips that you guys did from that stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, we really had it bad when we were doing those things. And I still remember when we did have teams. Like it wasn't bad till just that one race, like the one race that you just mentioned, and another one that kind of just said, nope, we're done, get them out of here. This is it, we're done. This is no more of it.
Well, teams also on the Heat, you would get certain ones together and they obviously made plans for other shit and kind of wrecked the league. But I think iRacing won't do that because there's so much work that got to go into this, and you got calls of sponsors and stuff. Someone's not going to go and just take their team and go on and make a new league because there's a lot of work to go into it.
Yeah, for those
Yeah,
that,
and you can't make contact like you did in Heat. Like you can't block
No,
with a corner panel and push someone in the grass. Like that happened. Someone does that, then they go into the grass. And the other person's all right.
well,
So
you're going to
it's
get incident points too.
yeah, for
yeah,
those yeah, for those at home that are wanting to start a league, just a heads up, there is a fee to even do that. So just be aware of that, and also make sure that you got an actual stable, group of guys or gals. Seriously, like that's the only thing that's gonna save your ass to keep that league in the first place. So just a heads up.
yeah.
And something I'm really shocked about on iRacing is so many Suki mofos on here. It's not crazy.
Okay, real quick. Everyone at home, she has a Newfoundland speech, so just understand she has a different language to us dumbass Americans. Okay, leave it at that.
You know what I think it is? Why? I think that people like they put so much time into it, and it's hard. It's hard as shit to race these cars,
It's a
and I
bit
think people
pricey,
get
obviously,
pissed.
too.
Yeah, yeah, that too, and people get
But
take it
they're really
serious.
sucky.
They are though.
Oh, McCarthy, you want to talk about that one that I had to deal with in the Dirt Series for Midwest?
Oh man. I was helping Crusader out, spotting and stuff, and this guy, man, he every time Crusader would get around him or he would get around Crusader, I'm like, just be on your toes, just be on your toes. And the guy would drive it in like he had no brakes. I mean, just like he was the only one out there on the track, didn't give two shits about who else was out there. And then when you called him out, well, like when Crusader called him out about it, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So for
I
the
was like, Crusader, does that sound familiar?
it definitely does. Also, real
Right?
quick, he was on controller for what I know. So for those that want to get into iRacing, first off, drop the controller, get that out of the way. Get a freaking wheel. Seriously.
Yeah, you need to get a wheel.
Why might that be as well, Chantel? I think you might have an answer for that one too.
I tried a controller, and it's really don't work the way it would on a console.
Man, I hope Leave It to Beaver gets iRacing. You know who I'm talking about.
We should talk to him about that. He may do it. He works at Walmart.
I know. I was racing with him. The little weird comments he makes in there. Hi guys. I miss that shit.
Do you remember when we first got Crusader? We thought he was almost like another beaver.
Yeah, we did.
Wait, what? Wait,
We did, man.
Hold on, man. Where the hell did this conversation come from? Y'all
See-
explain.
That makes me happy that I was so quiet when I first started. Now that Crusader came in being a loudmouth.
I think you know how I used to call Fluffy Fluffmaster Flex. I used to think that a Crusader was like Fluffmaster Flexius, like they were in the
Fuck
same group. But no, you're not though. You're not, man.
No.
You've been great.
I don't know about
But
Grant.
yeah,
It's been the best thing
iRacing
going on.
though should get to where we needed to go, but I think we should maybe get this ending.
Well, speaking of that, before we go, did you guys see how many views we had from that race at Thompson?
We've had like over 2,000 or 3,000 on our page because I mean, Pizza Racing TV broadcasting service has just been killing it when it comes to Facebook stats, and even YouTube's starting to finally grow. I think that's something also to teach people that iRacing ain't just a sim; it can be a legit business if you get it done right.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I saw
that's like
598
the
views on
reps.
the race today. When I was checking out the Thompson race, and there was 598. I was like, damn.
So, for those wondering how many views exactly we got, just on the Thompson one, we've had from literally Thursday night, 2,447 people reached and viewing it. So, that's yeah,
Wow.
that's just a normal day. I think the best
Yeah.
one
That's
we ever had
awesome.
was like 4,000 in total.
Yeah, we have a lot under.
So, all
And
right.
iRacing did come in good, but our next podcast, I think we should get the championship drivers from season 1 in.
Yeah, get a Cindy in here, and
She's already talking to the chat, so she probably might try to convince us to just join in now, knowing her. So.
hey, she's pretty
But
good,
yeah,
man.
Cindy and
I was
Lance, they're
impressed with
good.
her.
Yeah, Lance Brandlinger definitely gave a hard charge, and congratulations again to him also Thursday night for the win. That was a pretty good race, all things considered. So.
Yeah,
But
for
one thing
sure.
about Cindy, I don't know if y'all noticed this, is no matter where, like halfway point or whatever, you can look and see she's like 10th or whatever, maybe 7th, whatever, mid top 5. By the end of the race, man, she's up there, and she is like Mrs. Consistent, I feel like now.
I know you need to have
Yeah,
a
for
nickname for
sure.
her, the closer. She's the
Yeah.
closer, man.
I'll give her a nickname when the time comes. She's not getting one until I figured the right one out for her. Unless you
I
guys
mean,
can
the
think of
closer
something.
does sound good for her.
It does. That's
Cindy,
pretty
the
badass.
closer,
I always
Taylor?
wanted that to be my name.
Yeah, Cindy,
No,
the closer,
no,
Taylor.
Robert, you're sticking with Pony Express and the Rattlesnake till I find something that's gonna really suit you. You freaking pain in my butt when it comes to this stuff. So you're staying the Rattlesnake or Pony Boy.
My job is complete.
Okay, so I guess Cindy, the closer Taylor. That's not what I got to nickname her on the broadcast. So Cindy, if you're listening, there you go. Have fun. You just got your nickname thanks to these complete morons.
Hey, one moron.
One moron. Oh
That's
yeah, right,
Mr.
Robert.
Moron. Come on.
I'll take. Okay, we'll take 1.5. I'll be half of it.
All right, guys. I think we gotta call it a night here, so we gotta
I'm
get out of
off.
here.
Yep, I'm out, guys.
All right, so y'all head off. I'm gonna give a word to our sponsors. So thank you again to Robert Kahn and Chantel the Throttle Paddle, as well as Kayla, the one you don't mess with Texas, Pride Texas, whatever you want to call her. Coming on in here tonight. We do appreciate you guys as well. Quick word to our sponsors, of course. We'll go ahead and bring up the stat sheet here for you guys so you know who we're talking about here. Big thank you to our friends over. Oops, I forgot that the Discord thing was on. Whoops. Hold on here. Okay. Real quick, just a big thank you to our good friends and sponsors. Matt Mills Racing Team, obviously the Xfinity Series team, has supported us through Pedal the Metal Racing League and also helps out a little bit to kind of give a little insight and more of a legit feel to it. So to Matt Mills Racing Team, thank you guys so much. And also, go and support them, guys. They finished 13th in Texas. You know how hard it is for a team like them to even get into that position? Go and show them some love and support. That takes commitment and dedication. So congratulations to Matt and their team again. And thank you again so much for supporting us this season. Our good friends over at Mid-Seas Air Conditioning and Heating, of course. Thank you guys as well. They're over down in the Texas. So if you guys need something fixed up there, be sure to go and visit them on up. Our friends over at Affordable SEO and Marketing. If you guys are looking to outrank your competition with the best PPC cards, gifts, and all that you need, Affordable SEO and Marketing is the way to go. Our friends over at Amber's Royal Creations LLC. If you guys are looking for some flowers for a loved one, special person that you want to give to, Amber's Royal Creations over in the District of Florida. They have just the stuff you need, so visit them on up. And then, of course, our friends over at Bob's Custom Trophies. Bob's Custom Trophies. If you're looking to get the best trophies designed and all that, if you're wondering what we're talking about, these are the trophies that Pedal the Metal Racing League Series winners will be getting at the end of the season. And then, of course, also they don't just sell trophies and designs and plaques. They also sell up on gifts, decals, and all that stuff. So if you guys need to, go ahead and visit them up. They will be definitely giving out the best, not giving out, they will be giving you the best decorations and gifts for your loved ones or friends and family. So visit them on up. They'll definitely get you taken care of there. And then our good friends over at simracingmerch.com. Simracingmerch.com has the best swag for your leisure for sim racers. So if you guys need some and want to look good on the street and on the track, be sure to visit up simracingmerch.com to get more there. Paul's Wraps also a crowd sponsor. They'll be giving out a free wrap to the winner of each series like they did last season. But also, if you're looking to get one done up in your leisure and you want it done at an affordable price and still make it look like a sick hot rod, well, look up Paul's Wraps on Facebook for more information. And then our good friends over at McConey Setup Shop. McConey Setup Shop also has been sporting for the late model series, and they are a proud sponsor here with Pedal the Metal Racing League. So we want to say to them real quick, thank you so much again for supporting. And if you guys, I know we had a little discussion about the setup thing. I think that's better for a topic later on about, what's to buy, what's not to buy. But I'll tell you one thing, if you guys definitely want to get the fastest and the baddest out there, go visit McConey Setup Shop to get at your leisure the best car for the right day and time and setup. Well, everyone, that was going to wrap it up here for our PTM podcast. It's been a long time since we've done these, and it's been very fun and enjoyable, and hopefully we can get a lot more out there. If you guys are looking for more information, just go ahead and stick here on the channel, subscribe here on YouTube. This will be exclusively only on YouTube, so I want to say thank you again to everybody out there, and the next time we will see you, it will be tomorrow night as we go over to, I believe, Richmond, as I mentioned earlier in the ARCA series. We'll do battle there as our iRacing series will continue on. So everyone at home, thank you again for tuning on in. Thank you again to everyone that supports the show and supports our channel. We do appreciate it, guys. I know it's been a little long and I'm still ranting, so I'm going to get the heck out of here while I got a chance. So for now, till tomorrow night, be safe. God bless. Take care. Good night, everyone.